here's a good thing to talk about. Was it as hard as you thought to get there? And because it took you a long time, right? Like I don't want to sugarcoat it for people because I think it's bad because you got there once and then you kind of fell out of it. But was it as difficult as you thought it was to get back to there the second time?
So the first time I broke out as a regional manager, it was easier then because I wasn't the sales. I wasn't very good in the field at that time. I wasn't a top producer, Chuck, like I am now. Mm-hmm. So then when I broke out, I might have just gotten lucky, really. Like I really looking back on
had
it,
like a couple good months.
Yeah, I just had a couple good months. It was a volume of people that were just excited like I was in the beginning. I was just super excited and I was telling everybody and I had a couple good months. I broke out and then literally a few months after that is when I found out I was sick. So then it was tough for me to even do anything at that point, let alone, be the manager that I needed to be to keep the volunteer army that I had moving, moving forward. So when I came back, from being sick, and I just had a different state of mind to where I wanted to be recognized as one of the top producers in the country so that then I would have the leverage to then be able to lead people better. Mm-hmm. And then attract the right kind of people that I needed to sustain the numbers and the regional manager title that I just earned. So, and I just didn't want people to think that I was just a manager. I wanted to lead by example.
It's, what's crazy is I've never, like every once in a while, and especially in this world, you see a lot of people like so 14 years later, you see a lot of people like that will go out and I've never seen anybody who's like sustained in building a business without rolling their sleeves up and doing it first. I mean, a great example is Elon Musk talks about sleeping in the gigawatt factory to be there and present with all the workers who are grinding it out. And I mean, Bezos was the same way. Like there's Bill Gates was out of a garage. I think initially you have to be like that. Yeah. I think you have to set the example because then people identify a poser really quick.
Of course, yeah.
So
and I wanted to be able to set the example and show my peers and the people that I was bringing into the business what was possible. What you're capable of doing and the lifestyle that you're capable of living if you do X, Y, and Z. And this, dude, I was a top producer by running 3 days, 4 days max in the field.
Yeah.
So I was able to accomplish that in such short amount of time during the week, invested into that. So then I was able to then, talk to people throughout the week and show them what I was doing and show them, listen, what your 9 to 5, cool and all. I hope you're content there, but here's what, you're able to do in this industry and how, the lifestyle you're able to obtain by working, the same amount of hours, just condensed.
Yeah.
I was able to condense my time to be able to really, explode into the personal sales and it's harder. I think it was harder to reach it now because I was just so engulfed in that. It was harder to like pull away from it because I was really good at it.
Yeah.
Just really good at the being in the field and
dude, I think
families.
I just think, dude, there's a book, and I was writing a note down here. There's a book. It talks about 10,000 hours and how to be a professional in anything or expert at anything you're in, you got to invest 10,000 hours into it. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that statement. I mean, because dude, if you've never led people before, you might luck out and you might capture a few followers. Yeah. But if you mentally don't know how to do it properly, where you don't treat people in a bad way, and you understand to meet them where they are, and you understand that, if you put pressure on one person, that you're basing your whole business around a single person, opposed to just going out there and showing people a system, and then allowing people. I was talking to a manager last night, and we were talking just about this. I said, dude, you know what the biggest problem is I said, you go out and you find people who are looking for sales or employment or whatever it is, and then you find one, and then you stop doing everything that got you that one, and you worry about that one, and then all of a sudden that one disappoints you, and then now you're back at ground zero again. You got to start over again. And I said, dude, that's a tremendous mistake a lot of managers make, is they'll sit there and stop. And I said, whereas when Chuck really started taking off, he was more of like, I'm going to dial on this day. You can plug in and listen to me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to run these days. If you want to go with me, you can go with me, but you're going to have to go with me. I'm not going to sit there and stop my daily agenda. Yep. And then what managers do is they'll all of a sudden stop doing what got them that success. Yep. And then they wonder why all of a sudden they no longer have success, is because they've stopped and tried to worry about those one or two individuals. Yeah. And instead of just focusing on the practices that got them to that position. So yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, 10,000 hours, man. Just remember that 10,000 hours, big deal.
And I think people underestimate the correlation, like, going to college. Yeah. Right. Going to college. Like, you have, a 4-year degree to get your was it bachelor's? Yep. Bachelor degrees is 4 years. Yep. People underestimate, like, especially in this business, the time it takes to be really good at this business. And, this is like a paid internship. It's not like you're going to school and just sitting there not making any money. You're learning on the fly, you're learning on the go, and you're getting paid, but you're just knowing that, your freshman year of college, you're a freshman, and you'll be a little bit better the next year, and then a little bit better the next year, and then before you know it, you're 4 years into college, and you really understand the ins and outs of everything. And that's kind of how it really happened with me,
Yeah, dude, I was sitting there thinking about it, going like, that's, I mean, in a business, in our style of business, it's such a financially like profitable business long term. But it's one of those, it's a resilience business. So you got to have heavy resilience to make it in this business, because it takes a lot of maturing, growing, building, repurposing, refocusing, building again. Yeah. Before you solidify your place in the business. But once you solidify your place in the business, mm-hmm. then all of a sudden you've created this cash monster mm-hmm. that will sustain forever. Right. But so far too often, there's so many people that, like, they go in thinking it's just a cut and dry, like, let's get into it and let's just slay the dragon. Or I've had experience in the past that it just doesn't work that same way. So it's interesting. It's a very, what's the word for it? It's a very true, honest business.
Yeah.
It's very true and honest
business. You get out what you put in.
Oh, long term, for sure. Oh, yeah.